My guest is putting a new wrinkle into the cosmetic surgery business, unvarnished, easy to understand information. We can't stop talking about it. In her new book, The Smart Woman's Guide to Plastic Surgery, cosmetic surgeon Dr. Jean Loftus offers readers and potential patients a no-nonsense look at the pros and cons of plastic surgery, and lots to talk about. Welcome to Business Unusual.
Thank you.
This is the fastest growing section of surgery?
Absolutely. Everyone is having cosmetic surgery these days. We're no longer seeing it just in the rich and the famous. We see secretaries, bus drivers, people who earn minimum wage. We're seeing people take out loans for it. Teenagers,
because
everyone's having it.
It's not cheap, and it's not covered by insurance.
It is not cheap, and it is not covered by insurance.
So what is the most popular form of plastic surgery people are offering?
Number one is liposuction, and number two is tied between breast augmentation and eyelid surgery.
Now, we were talking about the liposuction before we went on the air. There have been a number of deaths associated with this. So what do people need to ask when they go to have this procedure done?
Well, number one, they want to make sure their surgeon is certified by the American Board of Plastic Surgery. That is not going to eliminate the risk, but hopefully that will reduce it, because by certification, we have some idea that that person has gone through some rigorous training in order to be able to offer that procedure.
Doesn't everyone have to be certified?
No. In fact, physicians who are certified in other specialties can go to a weekend mini course in liposuction, claim that they offer liposuction, say they are board certified, and in fact they are board certified. It's not by the American Board of Plastic Surgery, and therefore they trick people.
So they could be dentists, they could be...
Could be anything.
Because the money's so good.
Because the money's so good, and because insurance reimbursements are going down, and so they're looking for a new way to pad their wallet.
All right, well, we've got some pictures of some before and afters of a facelift, and we find that teenagers now are going to do this. Is this something doctors should say, you know, I'm sorry, should you have a minimum age for this?
That's a good question, and that's an ethical question. When I have a teenager come to me to talk about cosmetic surgery, what I discuss with them is essentially the same things as I would with their adult counterparts. Number one, they have to be there with their parents. Number two, they need to understand and accept the risks of cosmetic surgery, as does anyone. They also need to understand the cost, the recovery, and the emotional issues associated with cosmetic surgery.
What are some of the costs for typical surgeries?
Liposuction can range anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000, depending on how much you're doing. Facelift is going to average about $5,000 or $6,000. And when I say the cost, I'm talking about not only the surgeon's fee, but also the hospital and anesthesia fee. Now, here in New York, the average cost is about 50% higher than it is elsewhere in the country. But it's surprisingly even throughout the rest of the country, whether you talk about East Coast, South, or Midwest, or West.
Well, I always knew things were more expensive in New York, but I'm not terribly surprised. What about the emotional investment, though? People come in with such unrealistic expectations of what they're going to come out like.
Well, sometimes they do, and it's important to identify those people and actually steer them away from cosmetic surgery if that's the case, because the people who are unrealistic in their expectations are going to be very unhappy with their results.
All right, since liposuction is one of the most popular, are the results forever?
The results are permanent in that the cells that are removed with liposuction are removed permanently, but fat cells do remain, and those fat cells that remain will be able to take on new fat. You know, if your fat cells see a Big Mac coming down the line, they've got to have somewhere to put it. And whether they put it in the fat cells that were in the area previously liposuctioned, or in other fat cells in another part of your body, everybody's a little different.
And you wrote this book to talk to women about what in particular?
Well, a number of things. Number one, to dispel a lot of the myths out there in cosmetic surgery, because they absolutely prevail. And number two, to really explain the truth about cosmetic surgery, not just to explain the benefits, but also the risks. Not just to explain why someone should consider cosmetic surgery, but in many cases, why they should not have it.
All right, it's a good informative book. It gives you the prices and her analysis of all this, and it's called The Smart Woman's Guide to Plastic Surgery. Dr. Loftus, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And whether you're in the pre-operative, post-operative, or anti-operative category for plastic surgery, nutrition can play a vital role in keeping up appearances. Some important advice for those considering surgery when Business Unusual returns.